current situation in the insurance industry is just recovering after the COVID pandemic, and I think all insurance companies have handled it very well. If you take the time back to somewhere in March, for most companies it was a real shock, because even though we had contingency planning and all that, this was something that no one expected to happen, and to handle that, it was a tough challenge. But I think in general all insurance companies handle it very well, especially it being a essential service. It was declared as an essential service, so all companies gave whatever the services that they had to give to the customers and handle it very well. In general, a lot of companies adopted different methodologies in terms of deploying their staff into the work areas. If you take SLIC as an organization, I could recall somewhere in March, we had a very limited skeleton staff working, and most of the other staff were given the facility to work from home. And no sooner we reached normalcy, we had almost all the staff returning to work, but of course on a roster basis. But then subsequently, somewhere in June, we went ahead and we had the full staff strength working. The companies had to give the compensation to even some of the allowances. They had to keep on fueling the staff, because individually people also had a tough time. We brought in the concept of smart spend, and we only cut down the areas where we felt that we could live without during this year. But when it comes to staff or even the agents, the company spend a lot of resources in keeping them motivated. I'm sure the other insurance companies also, from what we hear during industry meetings, they have done just the same. Let's say somebody might think that rather than joining an insurance industry, it's easier for me to join another industry, or it's more lucrative for me to join another industry. I think the responsibility is we have not penetrated enough and given that message out. If you look at insurance, I think it's a very important commodity that we sell today to the customers. Number one factor is, I don't know, as customers, as a society, as the Sri Lankan society, we have taken that seriously. People also may believe that it's better for me to join a bank and not necessarily insurance. But then if you really find the facts out, I would say it's a very, very responsible industry. And we provide a very good service. The value of the service will only be known as will be identified and known by somebody who has really gone through that experience only. So therefore, I would say it shouldn't be that difficult for somebody to select. The time that we joined insurance, right, and today I see a lot of multidiscipline sectors are aiming at the insurance, and people with so many talented people are looking at the insurance industry. So there is so I would say this might be like a turning point, because in time to come, insurance has to play a very, very key vital role. And even if you take the emerging businesses in the world, insurance is within there. While some of the businesses in time to come will disappear, insurance, they predict that insurance would be somewhere in the top 10. I think there should be a proper selection and recruitment process, because selling insurance is not easy, trust me. Selling soap might be much easier, because you can go and show the cake of soap and say this is exactly what it's going to do. But if you're going to sell insurance, it is highly technical and the knowledge has to be there. So if you look at some of the success stories, again, as I told you, some of the whole agents, the senior hands that we have in our company are very, very knowledgeable people. So, but what happens is, when you go on a recruitment drive without considering all these facts, then you may end up having just trying to sell a product. Why am I selling this? Why should you buy this? Is not even discussed at all. So there should be a proper recruitment, selection, plus there should be constant training, because insurance is a subject where you can't tick saying that I have learned everything. And there are a lot of things even I on a daily basis hear and learn from other markets, and it's an evolving subject. And even if you look at the principles of insurance, today some of the principles are being challenged, and maybe there will be evolving principles of insurance in time to come. So because of all that, I think the fundamental thing is you need to train them constantly, and also not only the subject matter but the soft skills also should be given out. I believe in the industry some companies are doing it, and as a industry also we are helping through the Insurance Institute of Sri Lanka to make all these agents today as licensed and qualified agents. So just because somebody wants to sell an insurance product today, it's not permissible. So the industry is also taking some efforts in order to develop people who are in a similar level. So once they become licensed agents, then I think the insurance companies have a daunting task where they constantly keep them involved. From an industry perspective, ISL is also currently engaged in various discussions to see how we can develop and uplift the employer or the employee categories in certain, for example, they are having subcommittees of the ISL, which is represented by life insurance, general insurance, IT, HR, marketing, all these. So when they meet, they have the common discussion points, which also will reflect back again for them to uplift the industry. Plus the agents, also we are having certain competitions, so giving them the opportunity to be recognized as the top class insurance agents of the country. I think it's again a whole series of things which will put the insurance agents as well as insurance staff to take pride in what they do. It is an industry where the staff, agents, every one of us involved in it should take huge pride about what we do. We should be all proud and positive about the opportunities that we are going to have. And some other developed markets may not have the same, right? They may have challenges what we faced earlier. So I think challenges are there for us to meet them, and also I'm sure if we meet them properly, we can capitalize on them.